This is module number 2 in our backend development course. Now here I'll be showing you how you can initialize a GitHub repository inside this backend dev folder. Let us just start away. Right here what I will do is I'll open a new terminal and let me just remove my webcam for some minutes. Right, so I will show you all the commands. Let me do one thing that let me close this. Okay, and let me bring this to uh, let me get this here. Okay, so I'll just make it full screen over here so that you can see all the commands. Right. So here what I will do is first of all I'll write git init. Now after writing git init, what this will do is it will initialize a git empty git repository right here inside our folder. But right here you can see that it's showing me 1056 pending changes. Why it's showing that? Because it's also tracking out the node modules changes and it's also adding all the files and folders inside node modules. But that is a huge disadvantage. Why? Because node modules sometimes has size up to 10 MB, 20 MB, even 100, 200 MBs. So pushing such a large folder to GitHub is not recommended. So what I will do is I will go to my Google Chrome and I will type here GitHub, not GitHub actually, gitignore generator. Okay, so this is the gitignore generator that I'm using, and here I will write for node. One is for node, then is editor specific folders, Visual Studio Code, and I think they also have for Sublime Text and Web Store. Okay, so I added this four things that will be ignored from Git version control. Okay, let me copy this. After copying this, what I will do, I'll create a git ignore folder. Now watch out. As soon as I create a git ignore folder, git ignore file, okay, git ignore file, and paste this and save this here, you will see that it ignored node modules right away. And here we have only 5 changes that will be pushing to GitHub. And here let me show you some settings that they might have added. Okay, so here I think they must have added this thing. Let me find env. Yeah. So here you can see that we have ignored these three things. Okay, and I will also ignore. Uh, wait a second. Actually, let me left env, and what I'll do is Shift Alt and down arrow, and I will also ignore something called .env.local. Now these three files will be ignored. These four files will be ignored from version control. And we should not be pushing this environment variable files because they may contain some sensitive keys and value pairs. Okay, now right here, what I will do is I will authenticate myself through the GitHub desktop. Okay, let me go to GitHub desktop. Okay, let me go to GitHub desktop and here I will be authenticating myself. Let me click here on file, then click on options. Then here is my primary account actually. I'll sign into GitHub. Okay, I will sign into this account that is Coriclux on GitHub. Let me click on continue. Now after clicking on continue, I have to click on open GitHub desktop and I will be changing my email address. Okay, so update email address. I think I have blurred that part. Right. So here I will add a local repository and I will choose that. So to choose that, I will go here and click on YouTube courses backend dev and select folder. Okay. So I will just click on add repository. Now, as soon as I click on that, you can see that it has listed all the changed files. Okay. Now this thing you can do directly from Visual Studio Code, but that may cause some inconsistencies if you have multiple GitHub accounts logged in inside your system. So I'll suggest to go with the GitHub desktop. Now, in order to use GitHub desktop, before that you also need that thing that is called Git CLI. So Git CLI will help you to like manage these things, that is git init, git clone, add, commit, anything else. And also you will need this tool that is named as GitHub CLI. Okay. Whenever we need to reset some changes on remote repository as well as the local repository, we need this GitHub CLI. Okay. And yeah, I'll be showing you how to use this also in this video. For now, you can see we have just 5 changes. Getting node.json package log, that is an auto-generated file and must not be edited manually. Then we have package.json, which essentially contains the metadata, dependencies and dev dependency. We have a server.js. Okay. Now here what I will do is I will write that is module one completed. Okay, or else let me just write a initial. Let us write module wise. So module one dash completed. Okay, and here I'll write module two initialize GitHub Repo. Okay, so there is a typo here. So GitHub Repo. Okay, and yeah. So I think we are good to go. Now here, what does this mean? This area is for the description. Now I am adding this module to initialize GitHub repo so that you can know that at a time we pushed 2 things. First one is the code for module one. Okay. And second thing is the initialize GitHub repo and making the commits more strong. Okay. Initial commit, right? Initial commit and here initialize GitHub open. So let us commit 5 files to master and to click on publish repository. As soon as we click, it asks me what to name the repository. Let me just keep it as it is. And for description, this is an ultimate course on backend development published for free on YouTube. Okay. So I will not keep this code private and I'll click on publish repository. Okay. Now, as soon as I click on publish repository, I will show you some additional things that you need to keep in consideration. Okay. And here we have this backend dev. Okay. Backend dev. And here you can see module uncommitted. And if I'll click on this, open commit details. And here you will see module to initialize GitHub repo. Here, actually, one thing is suggested that you need to go ahead and create some branches. Okay. And here I will create a branch. I will create a new branch that is named as development. Okay. Development. I already told you that this is an ultimate level backend development. So you will be also shown how you can create pull requests, PRs, and merge them into branches. Click on this create new branch, and what will happen is a development branch will be created from the source code that is already available in the master. Now, if I click on again, you can see this is specifying a source. Now, if I want to create a branch, let us call it fixes, then I can choose the source. Okay, either it can be master or it can be development, anything else. Okay, and now we have a development for branch. How we pull that change into our GitHub local GitHub repo because that is not available here. So we need to pull out that change from GitHub and we can write a git fetch. Okay. Now as soon as I write a git fetch, you can see it showing me a message from GitHub Codilux backend dev new branch development origin/development. Now here you can see we are still on the master branch. So I need to switch to the development branch. For that I'll be using git checkout and development. Let me tell you one more thing, that is how you can create a new branch here inside your local repo is to write git checkout dash b, okay, small b, and you can write fixes. Now what this will do is it will create a new branch. Okay, so let me name it as test and click on enter. Okay, hit enter, switch to a new branch test. Now this particular branch is available on our local repo only, not on the remote repository. Now here you will find some ways to publish the branch. You can click on this publish branch, or if you want to go with the CLI, I will suggest you to write a get push, and it will cause some error. Not error actually. It will say us to run this command. Get push set upstream origin test. Now what this will do, it will push our new branch, it will publish the new branch on the remote repository, and you can see its permission is denied because in GitHub CLI, I'm logged into a different account. So I have to write a gh login. Now note that if you're working on a single account, you will not get this permission error. Okay, and log in with the browser. Let me copy this, and I think I will need to verify my email as well. Hit enter again, and right here click on continue. I'll click on continue, control V, and click on continue again, then authorize GitHub. It will ask me to verify my email, and I will just come back after verifying my email address. So yeah, so right here I'll paste my code and click on verify, and success. Okay, it succeeds. Now you can see it's showing me already logged in as code clutch. Okay, what I can also do is I can write a get auth switch. Okay, and after writing switch, I can switch to my other account. If I write switch again, I can switch to my other account as well. If I have multiple accounts on my system, if you have single account, you don't need to switch. You can straight away run this command, that is this one, git push dash dash set dash upstream then origin test. Now, as soon as I paste this and hit on enter, it will push this branch. Okay, and it's asking me to log in with my browser. I don't know why, but it's asking me because I have multiple GitHub accounts set up on my system. You may not be asked to this. Okay, now here you can see that remote create a pull request for test on GitHub visiting this and do this new branch test. So if I'll check my branches, okay, if I'll check my branches, you will see that here we have a test branch. Now, what if I want to delete my branch? I will write the same command git checkout, okay, dash minus d test. And note that you must check out to a different branch whenever you are deleting a branch from your local repo. So to delete this branch, I have switched to development branch, and I'll write a git checkout minus, okay, dash small d, and then I'll write a fixes. After writing the checkout minus the fixes, okay, so the branch name is test actually. Hit on enter, and yeah, it is now at this one. Okay, I think I should be at this branch. Okay, I don't know why it created another one. So what I will do is I will write here. I think I should push the changes. Okay, and I think it should delete the branch. So authorize Git ecosystem, and please complete authentication. So here I think branch test is not deleted on the remote. So I have to click on this delete option manually. Okay. And if I reload, yeah, so you can see that I'm shown with two branches. That is, one is development and another one is master. Now here I will create some rule sets for my branches. So I'll click on branches, and here I will click on this add branch rule set, and I'll name this as log master. Now I will prevent myself, or you may prevent yourself from force pushing any changes to your master branch. Now here you will add a target, so I'll include the default branch. Okay, now your default branch may be main or maybe master, it depends. But if you create your repository through the GitHub CLI, or you initialize with Git CLI, always your default branch will be master. If I create any repository on my GitHub account directly, it will switch to mine. Okay, and right here you can see there are certain branch rules that I can implement here. Now, restrict creation allow users with bypass permission to create matching refs, and restrict deletion only users allow users with bypass permission to delete matching refs. And here, this thing is by default selected, that is block force pushes, prevent users with push access from force pushing to refs. Okay, now let us say we are changing something in our master branch and we are like we are force pushing that. Okay, like if I'm having a merge conflict or you want to reset anything, so what you do is you just reset the commit and just force push. But that will be prevented on this master branch with this branch too. Require a pull request before merging, and yeah, so required approvals, we don't require any approval actually. And yeah, so require all commits to be made a non-target branch and submitted via pull request before they can be merged. Okay, what happens is some may also do one thing, that they may directly push to the master branch, but that this will be preventing that. Okay, so everyone will require to create a new branch of the name of any name actually. So they will require to create a branch, and they will require to create a pull request over the master branch to get merged. Okay, let us click on create, and after clicking on create you can see rule set created and it's now active. So if I want to somehow force push to master branch, I can just click on this disable. But note that if you are working with 3 to 4 people and you are working with an organization, don't click on this disable button. Okay, so they will require to create a new repository, no, sorry, create a new branch and create a pull request rather than force pushing or directly pushing to the master branch. Okay, so we are prevented from doing those things. Now here inside my local repo as well, we are on the development branch and our development will continue in this branch only. Okay, so this was the end in module 2, and in the next module, one interesting thing, that we'll be hosting this sample API to a production server.